Take one. Good morning, everybody. You're here with the Education Show. Your anchor here, Mr. Danny Santana, and co-anchor here, Mr. Eric Hernandez. Today, we will be bringing you the latest and greatest and most accurate environmental news brought to you by Hi there, everybody. How you guys doing today? According to my Apple device here, it says it is February 29th. It is currently cloudy with a high of 84 degrees and with a low of 64 degrees. Right now, it would take about 15 minutes to drive myself home.
All right, time for the real news. Back to that story about the cane toads in Australia. So the toads were released and meant to control the population of the sugarcane beetles. However, the risk assessment was done wrongly. So the analysts there did not understand the toads would not have any natural predators due to their toxic skin. The crocodiles and the lizards cannot eat the toads. Therefore, they also reproduce rapidly and they become more of a pest than the beetle has. They also have found other things to eat except the beetles. So now the beetles are not really being affected by the cane toads. This species worked well in controlling another species in Hawaii, but it's not working well in Australia. Now, if only these analysts had gone to an HL bio class when they were in high school, they would have read topic 14, section C.3, where the first understanding they would have learned would have been an introduced alien species can escape into local ecosystems and become invasive. That's what these cane toads have done. They were released, they escaped from the habitat they were meant to stay in, and now they're invasive. They also would have understanding 2, which is competitive exclusion and the absence of predators can lead to reduction in the number of endemic species when alien species become invasive. Since these alien species have come in and they have no natural predators, the number of species that they're eating are growing since they're rapidly reproducing. They also would have gotten a chance to understand application 1, which was studying the cane toad. So if they had only studied this in high school, they would have known specifically that the cane toad would not have done well. Now for your local example. The leafcutter beetles were released in order to control the number of salt cedar trees here in the valley. They were doing a great job. However, once they crossed the river over to Mexico, they were doing the same job of cutting down the salt cedar trees. And people in Mexico usually use these trees for shelter, shade, firewood, whatever they needed it for. So these beetles, although they were doing well here in America, they were doing a lot more damage than usefulness in Mexico. So the species had to be exterminated. Sorry for the technical difficulties. The power's out in the studio, but as we get things fixed, I'm going to pass the time over to Cy Bettis, who's on the scene in Australia with an Australian citizen.
Thanks, Eric. Cy here in Australia with Kaylin. So, how do you feel about the cane toad population increasing?
The cane toad population has affected my environment, which is Australia, negatively because the environmentalists brought the cane toad over here to control the bug population, the beetle, the sugarcane beetle. However, because it's an invasive species, it has ruined much of the environment. The bugs are gone, the flowers are gone.
Awesome.
Also, the cane toad doesn't have any natural predators over here, so it doesn't have anybody to control the population. So now the overpopulation, they have been feeding on the bugs too much, and now there's none of those bugs around here in Australia.
That was Kaylin from Australia. Now back to you, Eric.
Next story, DDT. DDT is a pesticide that's sprayed to help control the population of mosquitoes. It's sprayed on land and on water. However, when it's sprayed, it soaks into soil, it soaks into the fish, and birds of prey come and eat these fish. However, when the birds of prey come and eat these fish, the DDT soaks into their skin. It also affects the way that their eggs are born. These birds have been found with increasing amounts of DDT in their skin, and their eggs are being born with soft shells. This means that their eggs are not living long enough to hatch, and therefore the population of the birds is decreasing exponentially.
Oh man, Eric, that is just terrible to hear. Now we're off to Sai Perez, our reporter who's with an ornithologist.
Thanks, Daniel. Sai here with Kaylin at a bird sanctuary. So, how does the spraying of DDT affect the environment?
So DDT has been sprayed around in order to control the amount of mosquitoes, because mosquitoes do carry diseases and we're trying to control that. However, whenever the DDT pesticide has been sprayed, it is usually sprayed in the water, so the fish as well, they intake this poison or this insecticide, and whenever birds that are feeding on the insects, such like worms or any fish, they also intake this DDT poisoning, and the birds are, because they're predators and they're bigger, they have to eat more food, so they get poisoned as well. And along with that, their eggs have been affected. The layer of the shell has been thinned out, and so it cracks before the bird has matured. So the population of birds has decreased, and that's how the predators have been going away from the environment.
Thank you, Kaylin. Back to you.
Thank you, Sai. Now we're back with.
So here we have an ornithologist, Jamie Franco, who's going to give us her point of view on DDT. And we have Dick Deck, a crude businesswoman, who's going to give us her point of view on the DDT spray. So we'll start off with Jamie Franco.
So, DDT has been banned here in the U.S. since it was found in human blood, and since it's been banned, DDT has found to be decreasing inside our blood, and also it affects mother's breast milk. So, yes, DDT is found in breast milk for mothers. Since DDT has been banned, DDT has been found less in mother's breast milk, and it has also been found less in our bloodstream. And also falcons and eagles have been removed from the endangered list since DDT has been banned.
What do you have to say about that, Dick Deck?
Okay, so although DDT has been found to be somewhat harmful to the environment, to birds, and to some humans, I think it should be allowed to be used because it does control the amount of mosquitoes that there is. And even though malaria isn't really an epidemic in the U.S., it is a really big problem in other countries, especially third world countries, and DDT is able to control the mosquitoes around. So, and malaria does kill about 1 million people a year. I think the question should be asked, who's more important, the birds or humans?
Very, very intriguing question. Jamie Franco, do you have a refutation to that argument?
As citizens of the world, I think it is very important that we protect all animals from different species, and although 1 million people's lives are being lost, I think it's far more important to save a whole species than just 1 million of them.
All right. Well, that's it in our story for DDT. See you next week on
Education.
In order to Okay. DDT has been sprayed. DDT.
Are you angry?
Okay, I'm gonna say Diane was all fixing things, whatever. So I'm just gonna carry on with the newscast. The show must go on. Ornithology.
Ornithology?
Yeah, our ornithologist.
Ornithologist?
Yes.
Now off to our ornithologist.
Ornithologist.
Ornithologist?
Our reporter who's with an ornithologist.
Okay, hold on.
Spray it on water, it stays in the water, and it soaks into the skin of the fishes. 10 minutes. Fish!
It says fishes.